What's going on, Jerome's? So, when the Twins signed Carlos Correa to a 6-year, $200 million deal, I was so excited because, we finally got a Korean back. Also, now, hey, Royce Lewis can play center field again. That worked out really well. Anyways, also, what could go wrong giving a fifth of $1 billion to a guy who failed 17 physicals? But whatever. Anyways, Super Wildcard Weekend is upon us, and that's right. Looking at the picks, are the Vikings going to win all 6 games? Probably not. But so for my money, divisional round is the favorite weekend of the year because you have great games. You have the 1 seeds. You have teams that already won playoffs. But Super Wildcard Weekend is pretty great as well. That's right, man. So 6 games. We're going to go through and pick against the spread for entertainment purposes only, putting a jelly bean or 2 down. So let's walk through. Saturday, this afternoon, 3:30-ish. So we got Seahawks at the Niners. So the Niners are everyone's cat's ass right now. And everyone's hyped up about, Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. Oh, Kyle Shanahan going back to the Super Bowl to right some wrongs like he's Quantum Leap. And, so Pete Carroll... Pete's just like this old Jedi master. Like, he's playing all the games. He's like, we don't have a chance. They're the Niners. Niners are a pretty good team. He's doing that thing again. And I don't think that Seattle wins outright. I think that the Niners defense, best in the league, is too tough. I think Purdy does enough with just dumping it off to Kittle and McCaffrey and Debo. So I don't think that Seattle wins. But 9 points... kind of tough. Even though San Francisco swept the regular season series, it's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially beating them down like this. So 9 points is a lot in a divisional game. So I'm going to go Seattle with the points. But again, I think that San Francisco ultimately wins here. Saturday night, Saturday, Chargers at the Jaguars. Duval is going to be lit, and people like San Diego or LA, whatever. They're moving back to San Diego within 10 years, by the way. So Justin Herbert, playoff debut. Trevor Lawrence, playoff debut. And the Chargers rolling in with some momentum, and they get a couple guys back off of injuries, but also they lose Mike Williams, who has a back fracture, is going to be out potentially until the Super Bowl if they make it that far. So I think that is a big-time loss, although they have dealt with a number of injuries this season. I just think Jacksonville is just going to come in too hyped. Like, I think that their rebuild is ahead of schedule. I love what Doug Peterson has done with Trevor Lawrence. I think that the defense is super opportunistic. I think that they have some nice playmakers on offense. I think that Duval is going to be super loud because they've been waiting for this for a long time, and Jaguars fans respect are some of the best in the league. They support the team, win, lose, or draw, and I think that... I think the Jaguars win 1 playoff game. I think that they probably bow in the divisional round, but it is what it is. But, yeah, give me the Jaguars. Give me Duval. Give me those points. And also I think they win outright. A Sunday noon game. Got the Dolphins and the Bills. So, Tua out, 13.5 points. Now, the Dolphins and the Bills split the season series. Dolphins lost a near-run game on Saturday night later on in the season, but that was with Tua. I don't think that Skylar Thompson can hang in this spot, but are you really going to fade 2 touchdowns in the playoffs? I don't know. Like, does Miami do enough? Like, can they get enough of a pass rush generated on Josh Allen? Do they use Tyreek Hill in unique ways? Like, do they have Tyreek return punts? Like, do they have manufactured touches for Tyreek and Waddle just to try and make this thing interesting? Maybe. So I'm not saying that the Bills are going to be in any danger of losing at all, but is it a spot where the Bills get out by 21, 24 points early and the Dolphins claw back some points in garbage time and ultimately lose by like 10? I could see that. So give me the points in this spot. And like I said, points in a divisional matchup in the wildcard round. Let's go. Giants and Vikings. Giants rolling into historic U.S. Bank Stadium trying to right the wrong of the Greg Joseph 61-yard piss missile coming in from freaking, Roseau, Minnesota. And the Vikings are 3-point favorites in this spot. The Vikings 11-0 in single-score games. This is going to be a tight game all the way around, especially if the Giants are able to get Saquon going, 6 yards per carry last matchup. But I do think that the Vikings will prevail, and I actually do think that they will cover. I think that Justin freaking Jefferson, first playoff game in the NFL, he's pissed off because he still has the taste of the Green Bay game in his mouth. He wants to prove to all the haters and the losers that he is that dude who led the league in receptions and yards and deserves to be in the MVP conversation. I think the defense will get after it. Knock on all the wood is finally healthy. Daniil had 2 sacks and 9 pressures against Danny Dimes the last time around. So I think that the pressure gets to Daniel Jones. I think that he serves up a meatball or two. I think the Vikings end up winning by 10, which is a lot for them. Sunday night. So I don't know. NBC sort of got pigeonholed with this matchup. Kind of sucks, but whatever. Anyways, Ravens and Bengals. So, no, Lamar Jackson already ruled out. And Tyler Huntley's going to be a game-time decision with that shoulder. So, I mean, it could be Anthony Brown at the Bengals. Now, I was lucky enough to get this where the Bengals were minus 6.5. So, we got it underneath that touchdown. But even with this, I think that the Bengals are going to roll here. I think the Bengals are going to be dialed into playoff mode. They've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. They were Super Bowl participants last year. Probably should have won the Super Bowl, but whatever. I think that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, even though the Ravens' defense is studly, I don't think that they have enough offense. I think Greg Roman comes out and puts up like 10 points. I think the Bengals, put up like 27, so 27-10-ish type final score. Go ahead. Lastly, Monday Night Football. So everyone has been on the Cowboys' ass all year long, right? They've been, oh, blah, 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 the Eagles. Oh, blah, 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 the Cowboys. But even though the Bucs were super ugly this year, 8-9, I'm not going to bet against Tom Brady. Like, I just can't, especially if you're giving me 2.5. And also, if you bet it earlier in the week, you got 3. So, no. I feel like this is a spot where Dak Prescott, I think that Dak Prescott is more of what we saw in the Washington game versus what we've seen the best of Dak. I mean, he led the league in interceptions. He only played 12 games. Right? And I think that Dak gets exposed. I think that the Bucs pass rush gets after Dak. I do think that Tom Brady makes a couple of key throws. I think Mike Evans has himself another huge game. I think playoff Lenny shows up. So give me the Bucs and the points, and for the Bucs to win outright. So that is it. Again, entertainment purposes only. For with the spread, we're taking the Seahawks plus 9. We're taking the Jaguars plus 1.5. We're taking the Dolphins plus 13.5. We're taking the Vikings to cover the 3. We're taking the Bengals to cover the 8.5, and we're taking the Bucs to cover with the 2.5 as well as win outright. But that's it. That is our Super Wildcard Weekend picks. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.